I'm flabbergasted. That's if I could use that word, right? When I hear black folks still talking about there ain't no racism. Like, really? Or we just gonna ignore the fact that it exists? But remember, like, you're gonna ignore it out of existence.
But you remember one time you said one time way back when we were first doing the podcast, is way back. You said everybody experienced racism. I said yes, everybody has, but everybody don't know they experience racism as a black person. But see, that's where you remember we talked about that.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
And it wasn't that some people don't know that racism happening in front of their face because they blind. You know, some people don't have that experience. Yeah, they don't have the experience, or they never been taught. They don't know what to look for. A lot of people, that's what I say. All of us probably have experienced it.
Every black, there's not a black person on this planet who hasn't. That's competent.
Everybody can't say they actually experience it because they don't know they experience it.
Let me ask you something. Can a black person be racist?
No. A black person could be a bigot, but they can't be racist.
Why not?
A bigot is someone who hates somebody because of their ethnicity, right? Or from, different things like that, right? Racism, the root word, like, think about that. Race, right? And ism, system. When you hear ism, it's a system. Black people do not have a system in place to where they can punish other people from other ethnic groups to harm or cause anything to disenfranchise any other ethnic group. We don't control any businesses, industries. We don't control any ports of transport. We don't control any of the educational institutions. Now, a black person can be a bigot, meaning just you hate someone. You can hate someone because of a black person can hate white folk because they're white. A black person can hate Indian people because they're Indian. But a black person cannot practice. They cannot harm people from other races because there's no system that allows them to do so and get away with it.
That's not racism. Don't mean you can harm them physically or financially and stuff like that. Racism. Blacks can, my opinion, like you say, I believe we can be racist. Some blacks don't deal with whites at all, or they don't deal with nobody outside their race. Not saying that's a bad thing, but they can stereotype another culture because of their the way they look. And I feel like everybody got racism in them. Not everybody like in general person, but every culture has some type of racism. Because if you're different from me, you might have some type of hate. Not everybody is like that, but I feel like every culture, even Asians, I feel like they racist to us, to a lot of whites, black, Indians, too. Everybody, I feel like everybody it got some racism. Every culture has some racism in, regardless. I'm not saying it's all about harming them. Like you say, I know. Reports.
Respect of persons. I think it's more so what you're talking to in regards to, I ain't gonna go to that neighborhood because I think my pocketbook is gonna get stolen.
No, not like
that.
Like
that kind of I think that's more so to what you're talking about. When I hear ism, organism, right? The ism, I think about a system or and I have not seen black people as a collective, right? When I hear that word ism, right? Practice racism as a collective, right? I've seen prejudice. I've seen, I ain't gonna,
I can't say that. That's why where I'm from.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think we're talking about. I think we're saying the same.
We're saying the same thing.
Same thing, but
same thing. It's just the way we view it different.
Yeah,
we view it different. But I'm from a southern environment, so certain things I saw compared to northerners. I'm not saying it's not
I'll
around.
put it like this. I've never seen a group of black officers shoot a white person 48 times.
46.
46, whatever it is, right? 46 times.
Take this down.
Huh?
We got to take this down
Why?
because we got to get the numbers right.
Oh yeah, my bad. so right. So I've never seen that happen. Right.
I agree.
So,
But I have seen blacks jump on a white.
yeah, but
You know what I'm saying? It's,
but I've never seen black cops do that and get away with it.
So I could take it a step further.
Go ahead.
Right? Now, are you saying, okay, you've never seen it? Is it because we are incapable of doing it? Or is it...
No. Nobody's... I believe all people are incapable of doing it. Are capable of doing it.
So black people can be racist. We choose to not get together and create those systems and create those...
Let me talk about myself, right? There was a time in my life, right, where you probably could... Someone may have, I could say I was militant or I had respect of persons at a certain point in time. Now that I've changed certain things in my life in regards to, like, my creator doesn't allow me to have respect of persons based on anything, only based on their character, not based on their race, religion, anything like that. So I have to love everybody. I don't have to like everyone, but I have to love everyone.
Explain that.
So right, like, I don't always like my dad when he's lecturing me, stuff like that, right? But I love him. I have a wife. I don't always like my wife. I don't always like my wife, man. She may be telling me to, hey man, why'd you leave that there? Or, you turn the light, why you leave the light on? Or why you do this? Or why you do that? I may not like that, but I love her. I love her to death, right? And love is what? Love is a choice. Love is a choice. Like is an emotion. I choose to love her, right? I choose to. Right, I choose to love my parents. I choose to love y'all.
But what is love? Like,
when you love something, you make sacrifices for it. I love the game of basketball. Right, I love it to death because I know I had to sacrifice a lot of things to achieve the level of success in that sport that I got.
When you said something, we were talking earlier. Me and Quan talking earlier about sports. He said he fell out of love of football because he's like, man, them 2 days I didn't have the love for it like that. It's the same thing. You liked it, but you didn't have that love for it. Right. So it's same things like you say. When you got a love for something, you will make a sacrifice.
Yeah,
that's a very interesting way of putting that. I like that.
Yeah, because I like what he said. A lot of times I may not like you, but I still love you because at the time I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Because you get on my nerves or something.
But you said everybody. You have to love everybody.
I have to love everybody. I mean, I can't treat people a particular way or way that, or in a bad way because of their race, religion. I have to judge everybody based on their character, meaning I have to treat everybody with the same level of respect and decency. I can't come across a white person and because, I don't like the history of the way, quote unquote, white people and black people have been treated in this country, that I can just go by them and just disrespect them or curse them out, just a random white person walking down the street or a random Chinese or Indian person walking down the street. I have to be like, hello, how you doing, sir? I hold the door open for folk. Regardless of what, I hold the door open for old elderly folk, whether they're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. Now, if I didn't, and that's what I mean by love, right? You have to show love to folk, right? You have to treat people the way you want to be treated, even if you don't necessarily want to do it. And love requires discipline, right? Because if I get in an argument with my wife and I leave the house and I go out driving and and I say, I'm going to the club and I'm doing that. I don't love my wife. And I don't like my wife because if I don't like her in that instant, it doesn't give me permission to go out and just do whatever I want because I don't like her in that moment. No, love says, I may not like what she said or I may not like the way things happen at that particular moment, but I'm not going to go out and do anything that's going to further cause more problem because I love her.
But you're not entitled to make a mistake though. Could you? I'm gonna ask you a question. Could you cheat on your wife or significant other and still love them?
Yes, you can.
You can. But at the time, now you got to realize what you're doing. Like he said, I'm not going to do something that's going to cause more problem. I can still love my wife or my significant other, even if I did cheat on. But now you don't dig a deeper hole or dug something totally different. Now you don't step outside the box. Now you got to think about it. We operate as men. We operate different. Our feelings are different than females. You know, we operate different. So when it comes to things like that, that's just like I know we just talked about something earlier about family is in your relationship.
Yeah.
When you got family is in your relationship. Now, same thing. I love my family, but I don't like them all the time, but I love them. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them to be going, you don't want to have something in your household and then go tell them. Now they're going to bring more division into your household. So now you're digging a deeper hole. So now the love you do have for it, but now you starting to put it out there and she's starting to realize, I don't think you love me like you say you do, because now you putting this out there, you digging a deeper hole. So I'm not going to do something to mess up my love I have for her. Even though we might be mad at each other for a minute or whatever, I'm going to step away. Because I don't like to argue. I tell people, I do not like to argue. I could be something, but at the same time, I'm not going to argue with you, because me and you arguing, you're not listening to me, I'm not listening to you. You know, so we not paying attention to what you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying.
So you go.
You're not, you know what I'm saying? We might both of us put some valid points out there, but guess what? Who's listening?
Nobody.
But that's different. Oh, go
now, I want to answer your question. Can you still love your wife and cheat on her? Yes, right? I love God. I love my Lord. But how many times have we cheated on God? How many times have we disrespected God? Right? Now, if you love him, you got to come back and you got to repent. You got to correct your wrong. And the same thing applies with your wife, right? If you truly love your wife, and I'm not and this is not a permission slip for men to cheat, but things happen.
We not telling you,
and I'm not,
it's okay.
And I'm not actively looking to do so, right? But if we're gonna put it in that type of context, is that we have to. I just try to look at things. I look at things from the way God looks at things. Now, at this particular my life, I do look at it that way. There was a particular time in my life I didn't look at it that way, right? So I'm speaking from the perspective of me now. But the thing is, for me now, understanding the importance of marriage and what it actually means and what it symbolizes, no, I'm not going to cheat on my wife. I'm never going to think about cheating on my wife, right?
Thinking about it is a sin.
Even thinking about it is wrong. There you go.
So if, let's say I were to grow up in a household where all I saw was my pops cheating on my mom.
Yeah.
Adultery.
And a lot of people see it.
Committing adultery, yeah.
And or let's bring it to a scenario with our community. We see single parent households,
yeah.
And that mom is with different men.
It's basically like you're saying, when we teaching, is what you learn and what you just all you see.
Right, but
go and finish.
But I'm gonna ask a question. I saw that and I replicate that because I see that as love.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
because you thought it was right.
Is it love?
Let me ask.
If I'm doing it, I make no effort to correct that, but I'm still coming from a place of I think that this is
well. I'm gonna explain this to you. When you're young, you see things like that. Of course, it's installing you like okay.
It's
I think
normal.
it's
You normalize.
It's
normalized.
But when you get older, you tend to know better.
Not necessarily.
No, let me explain. You starting to know better. A lot of people say, no, you don't know better. That's because you learn this and learn that.
Because people have emotions and feelings, and you start to feel because the thing is that you start to feel like you're gonna feel something wrong.
You when you have something like they say, you always have your conscience to start talking to you. You start things. People start doing things different when you get older. You got certain things that was installed in you when you was younger, and now you learn and you carry it on in your life. But at the same time, when you become an adult, you should see things differently. You start seeing things in a big perspective. Now you like, okay, is it okay? Even though my mom or my dad was doing this and doing that, was that okay? You know what I'm saying? Is it okay? So think about it. Now, if I go out and do this, and I'm with this person, that person, I got my son see this girl come in, this woman come in, this over and over. What I'm teaching them.
And what would you want that for the question is to ask
own child?
Would you want that for your own child? Would you want that for your daughter? Would you want that for your son? And most parents will say no. Yeah. Most parents will say no. So they know, even though they're doing it, they know if you ask them, would you want that for your son? Would you want that for your little sister? Would you want that for your little brother? They're going to say, no. Nah, I don't want that. I don't want that. But they do it. People know, bro.
They know.
People aren't stupid.
That's why I say when you get older, that's like when they say with men, when you start becoming a man, you start letting go of childish things or childish ways. You know, that's when you start becoming a man. And a lot of us still doing childish things. Yeah. And the older, you know what I'm saying?
And it's a process.
And everybody like, well, you 30-something years old, you should not be doing. I like, how you gonna tell me what I should not be doing? You know, so some men gonna be doing certain things. Some men take longer. You know what I'm saying? Some men might grow up, let go of a lot of things at the early 20s. It just all depends on their path. Everybody has a different path. So my thing is, if you love somebody, the sacrifices you do for a person, especially I could say for me, prime example, I could use my life. I would not bring certain people around my son because I don't want certain influences. Mm-hmm. Or I don't bring certain women around my son because I don't know if it's going to last or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, he's like, dang, Dad, you got another one now? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just me. He's younger. You know, he don't understand. He may not understand that. You know, so if he don't see me with nobody or he see me with one young lady, he's like, okay, I see him sticking with one. You know, that's all I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing this girl, this another girl next week. Dang, Dad, you got another one next week. Dang, Dad, you got another one. You know what I'm saying? It's things as a parent that you don't want to see. But do parents do it? Do I know parents that have traffic in and out their house and they got kids?
No, I know. Yeah, I know.
You know,
I know folks like that.
It is happening. It does happen. And a lot of times they don't see what they're doing to the kids, but a lot of kids take that, and some of them, when they get older, they say, I would never want to do the things my mom.
Yeah, some kids do say, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's everybody is different. I can't say every child gonna grow up and do the same thing. They might have some of the same tendencies, some of the same ways, but do they mean they're gonna do the exact same thing? Because once your feelings get hurt or your heart get broken, a lot of people changes. You know what I'm saying? Men hearts get broken too. But like men, we used to, I could tell this, when you're younger, certain things we used to do, you know, you was out there running the streets, you know, boom, I talk to this girl, talk to that girl, you know, boom. But then once one girl treats you just like you treat her, now you like, man, did she just do me like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you feel some kind of way like, now you upset.
And then you have some dudes who try to do, it's like so crazy the way life works, because you'll have certain dudes who go right, who try to do it the right way, and a young lady, you know, violates them. And then they go ahead and like, all right, that's it, yo. Moving forward, I'm doing like, you know what I mean?
I'm on my grind.
So you have it both ways. But to what you're suggesting, like the original point is that kids see a lot of things, man, and I can only speak for myself in this situation. Any men that I talk to, any men that I'm around, that I advise them, especially, and women, if you have children, that you are very, very, and if you know you're single, be very cautious in regards to the way you conduct yourself, because how that child sees you operate is going to likely. It's going to have an effect on them. Yeah, it's just going to do it.
And also, like you say, be careful about your company. I tell parents, single parents, it don't matter. I know a lot of us, it takes a village to raise a kid. I strongly still agree with that, because that's how a lot of people survive, with a village, a strong village. Now, I ain't talking about just any village. It's a strong village. Good people, good-minded people, good. It don't matter what they are doing, but they are examples of a good. It could be a married couple. You might be a single parent, and you friends with a married couple. They doing everything good, but that village is helping you also. So they see something positive. They see a relationship as striving. You know what I'm saying? Everybody might not have that mother and father in their household. So it's all about that village you have around your family. And that's also dealing with us as black men. A lot of us keep certain people around that shouldn't even be around but so long. When it comes to relationships, we keep people around in a relationship that we shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to been there for a season.
Maybe a season.
You know what I'm saying? But we trying to make it a lifetime. We trying to make it eternity.
Maybe the All-Star break.
Yeah. But it's things like that, you know. But we just got to do better in general. Like I agree with John. You can still love someone, but you just got to make the sacrifice. That's what you do for love.